wanted to take you on a crash course of our agent portal, our agent accountability and follow-up boss, and sort of what we do with that weekly Slack huddle. Again, that's Mondays and Tuesdays at 10 a.m. We are touching base with each agent. It is done in a very kind of rapid fashion, 5 to 10 minutes per agent. They're all joining on either Monday or Tuesday at 10, so it gives them the flexibility if they've got a scheduling conflict or something comes up on Monday to just join on Tuesday, or vice versa. And we are calling on those agents in order of their seniority. We're getting the most productive agents out of the way because their time is obviously most valuable. We're letting them move along, and then we are moving on to agents that maybe need more time or need more coaching. It's also really beneficial that they hang in there and listen to those top performing agents do the first handful of meetings on those Mondays and Tuesdays, because it's a great learning opportunity. Learn the pitfalls, learn the problems, learn everything that's coming up. We created this agent portal. This is great for helping you as you scale your team to not have to answer questions like, where is team meeting this week? Or what time is this? Or where do we go for this? So basically we drop the team calendar. This is a shared calendar that we have as a team that tells you where to be for what. The agents also drop their out of office to this calendar. So it's a hello at Matt Stone team. It's a kind of a generic email account there. And it lets us know when they're out of town, where they are they completely out of office, or are they somewhat available, that sort of thing. And again, locations for things, so that it's go back to the portal. Don't ask for everything. Use your resources. So team training and resources, again, is another helpful thing. We just created Drive links that integrate to this Google site. This is just a Google site. We were using Tranual, I think it was, for a while. We just felt like it was way too cumbersome, way too complicated. It was a little bit too much that we needed for our real estate team. We needed more like static content for things that they need to reference back to. So this is things like how to get commissions and tax information for the firm in our W-9. You click one button and it's there. Office access, we do have a 24-hour office access system, so they can access that. We have a vendor directory. They can search by trade, type in plumber, and it spits out a list of plumbers that we've worked with in the past. Property disclosure links for North Carolina and South Carolina. We have a storage unit. This gives them a video that they can watch on YouTube for how to access our storage unit, where it is. It's 24-hour accessible. There are backup copies of buying guides, selling guides, lock boxes, signs, all the stuff you may need to hold a neighborhood block party. We've got, what are they called? Cornhole boards in there. We've got literally everything you could use. It's like a 20 by 10 storage unit, just full of junk for all things real estate, and that keeps it out of your garage as broker owner, which was a request my husband made, is please let us have our garage back. Copies of print marketing. This is fantastic for if they don't show up to an appointment with that buying guide or selling guide. They can easily hop in the portal, click this link, and it pops right up as a buy guide or selling guide. A link to that quarterly self-evaluation. So that's that questionnaire that we send out to the agents to complete. I will share a link to you. I think if I click this, it's going to take me somewhere crazy. Yeah, it's not exactly a very pretty link, but I think I can share this. It may only be shareable outside of or within our organization, but I can go through this really quickly. So basically, we charge agents if they are a member. They have production requirements, and in order to be a member of the team, they have to produce at a certain level. If you are a member of the firm, it means you have not met production requirements, and you're paying a technology fee quarterly for the privilege of being with the firm. So agents who are on my team pay nothing. Business cards, headshots, photography, measuring, Matterport tours, listing presentations, paperwork, an assistant, closing team, everything is included for them. So that is the goal with our firm, is we are not set up to be that is the goal with our team. We are set up to be a team, not a firm. But we will take agents who say, I love you guys, but I just don't want the hustle of the team business and team leads. I just want to be with the firm, but I do want to stay with you. No problem. We do have that option for them. Are you on track, or what is your real estate income goal this year? Are you presently on track to meet your goals this year? What is your real estate income goal next year? I'm operating my real estate business at the highest level possible. Yes or no? I'm the best version of myself. I wake up early, get dressed, and treat real estate like a real job every day. I'm satisfied with the way things are going currently. The effort that I put forth matches the outcome that I'm seeing in my business. I like setting goals and being held accountable to achieving them. I am consistent and methodical. My days are time blocked and I stick to my schedule. I am disciplined. I can clearly articulate my why. I am money motivated. I ask the best performing team members for constructive criticism and coaching. I ask team leadership for constructive criticism and coaching. I recognize the fact that I have direct access to the CEO of MSRE and regularly utilize this access for purposes related to business planning, coaching, and personal growth. I get hurt when I'm given feedback. I'm on time every time. I frequently make excuses. I frequently feel overwhelmed. I'm networking and meeting new people regularly. I can strike up a conversation with anyone. I am self-aware. I can read others well. I am uncomfortable asking my SOI for business. My SOI always turns to me for their real estate needs. I turn to top performers for advice instead of those who will just tell me what I want to hear or provide me with a comfortable echo chamber. So we add this question because even though we are a small team, we have 34 people in total. That includes agents who are part-time, just hung with the firm for referral purposes. That includes broker in charge, closing team, marketing team, all of those folks. But what we found is even in a small organization like ours, with about 25 of those folks actively selling real estate, we found that cliques developed and folks turned only to the couple of people that they felt comfortable with. And it felt a lot like high school, where you have the nerds kind of going in one corner, you've got the super productive people going to another corner, and I hated that for them, because the only way to kind of break through and figure out what your shortcomings are, what your flaws are, is to get out of that echo chamber. So we really, I love it when they answer this question honestly. And they say, no, I honestly only turn to the same people over and over again for advice. So that's something that we really push, is go shadow that person. Maybe she's too intense. Maybe you feel like she doesn't have time for you or whatever. I promise you that she will spend time with you. And you would learn so much by going out with, person XYZ on the team. So that was an awesome question to add. Would you feel embarrassed or hurt if your conversion rate relative to that of other team members was published? How many hours a week do you work in real estate? How satisfied are you with your real estate career? How persistent are you in the face of rejection? How competitive are you? How do you rate your sales skills? What level of effort are you putting into leveraging social media for your real estate business? How would you rate your lead conversion relative to industry average? How would you rate your response time? In an average conversation, what % of the time do you spend listening versus speaking? If you're honest with yourself, on average, how many new people do you have meaningful interactions with each week outside of real estate leads and vendors? Our CRM shows us the number of hours you spend per week actively adding contact notes and placing calls, emails, and texts. How many hours per week would you estimate that you work within our CRM? In reality, how many minutes per day do you spend sitting at your desk and nurturing leads? In reality, how many minutes per day do you spend sitting at your desk calling your SOI and past clients? On average, how many coffee dates and meetups do you have per week with other humans, not including vendors? What level of ownership do you take for where your real estate business is presently? How would you rate yourself as a real estate agent? So these were the questions that we formulated. This was a super late night thing for me. I woke up with insomnia at like 3 a.m. one morning. I was getting ready to have quarterly meetings with my agents, which we've always done, but we never had a form like this. And it always felt like a complain fest. I dreaded it. These quarterly meetings were nothing but like, I don't like this, and the leads and the whatever. And I was like, let's kind of flip this quarterly process around to me understanding where they're at before the review. Reading through this gives me time to pull up the back of office data within Follow Up Boss to say, hey, you're saying that you work 80 hours a week in real estate, but your number of appointments in Follow Up Boss, you've logged 11 homes shown in the last 30 days, and you've got 2 deals pending. Where is this 80 hours a week going? So it really helps me understand not only like the psychology behind things, which is not my strong suit when it comes to my team. I just want everyone to be, gung-ho and out there selling. But in order to be successful as a team leader, it does take a lot more hand-holding and a lot more one-on-ones than I initially anticipated. So this is our process. I don't think I can share this because it's only shareable within my organization. But if you want to rewatch this video, you can kind of gather all this stuff here. And again, that rests in our agent portal. It's so awesome having one place to go back to. It blows my mind, the number of people that can't remember the office code to get in the front door. It's always here. Just hop on your phone in the agent portal, tap, and you're back into it. So a thing like meeting with Josh, my brother is our operations manager. If they need a Calendly meeting with him, they tap this button, it shows him his calendar, and they can grab a meeting. Listing checklist, team meeting recordings. Whenever an agent does not attend team meeting, the team meeting recording drops into a Slack channel called Team Meetings, and that Slack channel is then shared here, and it's also in the Slack channel. So They are required to attend team meetings unless it's an out of office situation, they're on vacation, but they're always required to catch up on that team meeting recording. And at Huddle, we will ask them, what did you think about last week's team meeting? What were a couple of standouts for you? So we have training tools here, some general follow-up boss, like tech support information. We do often turn our team back to the vendors. We found that with like MLS training, our association is called Canopy, and we use Matrix. There is tons of robust training offered by Canopy on how to use Matrix. So why reinvent the wheel? Why offer one-on-ones on how to use MLS? I think Canopy does about 10 classes per month on literally everything within Canopy. So being able to step away and say no to those things when people say, I need help with this and this, how do I run a search? How do I do this? Like, go to the Canopy training. We'll help you if there's still some holes in the knowledge, but we will expect that you go to those. Same for Ylopo. Ylopo is awesome. We love their tool. Amplified Solutions is a tech company that we have engaged. They manage our Ylopo. They manage our follow-up boss. They do a lot for us. We also have an inside salesperson hired through them. Here's a link to Canopy's MLS training calendar, a follow-up boss cheat sheet, Zillow Academy, and then a lot of our agents, since we're primarily based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is on the North and South Carolina line, so folks do spill over that line, and inevitably will need their South Carolina license at some point. So this is tips on how to get your South Carolina license. Team training videos. This is mainly for new agents, and quite frankly, we are still pulling this over from Trainual and building this out here in Follow-Up Boss. But basically, reiterating the fact that how to use our different workflows, how to use our smart lists. These videos are public, I believe, and I can share links to these. But I found that it has to be a couple different ways. So we've got our learners who are like me, that I want to watch a video and I will pick up on the video in however long the video is all I need. And I've got this down to a science. Other folks need the PDF. So they want to see a PDF of the lead workflow. I'm happy to share this with you guys. But basically, from the moment the lead is claimed, speed to lead is critical. The prospect may have reached out to multiple agents. We're emphasizing the fact that we are tracking this. This is all trackable in Follow-Up Boss. Speed to lead is critical. With live calls, your number one goal is to set an appointment. If they're not physically available, not in town, set up a Zoom, set up a consultation. With Slack leads, we also offer leads in Slack. Say it's an email inquiry, that will be offered through a Slack channel. But basically, this walks through the entire process. Clean the lead up in Follow-Up Boss. We'll sometimes see like typos or blatant things like @gmail.com will be spelled @mgmail.com or whatever, and cleaning up those things and using intuition to make sure that that's all set up properly. So that is PDF versions. There's also videos going over this in more depth. How to use our smart lists. This basically breaks down what these smart lists are in Follow-Up Boss. These things have been an absolute godsend to having our sanity back when we run those Monday, Tuesday huddles. Having these smart lists is so easy because I can hop in a Follow-Up Boss. I go up to the top right. I choose the agent that's in the huddle with me at that moment. Say it's Michelle. I can tap Michelle and I can run through left to right all of her smart lists and see, Michelle, you still have a lead that's in 10 and 10. You have not reached out to this lead 10 times in 10 days. This one has been 3 days since last communication. And so that presents us with the opportunity to add a tag to that lead. So we add a tag called EOD for end of day. That then goes to another list that our admin team checks and makes sure that action has been taken on those leads that are not compliant with our smart list protocol. But basically, these 10 smart lists are amazing. We love them. We remind them there's a couple of lists that will not be zeroed out, and that's down here at the bottom. Again, happy to share this with you. Having a document and a video again has been awesome. How to prepare buyer documents is here. Where to go within the team. There was a lot of confusion about is the closing team, where do I go for this? Who do I go to for this? And so we broke down exactly where to go. That saved me a lot of frustration as a broker owner, not having to be the parser of all questions and the parser of the directory or the receptionist for the entire team, telling them where to go. So I've got a question for the agent portal. That's going to show you these things. The closing team are all these things if you need this. Lead tracking and accounting, direct messaging Josh and Matt, me and my brother in Slack. Things you need, sales coaching, private matters, SOS, help me save my deal. Going into team chat in Slack if you have a general question or, what addendum do I use for, whatever, lead-based paint or whatnot. So having this where to go list has been awesome, and really pushing folks to go back to those lists. Like if they ask us a direct question about what is the addendum called for FHA financing, we don't just answer. It's so easy as a broker owner to just say it's the FHA addendum. But much better to say, please ask this in team chat, so this can be a learning experience for everyone. And I have that shortcut saved as a text shortcut that I can tap back with one touch of a button, and it sends that message back to them. So I'm not typing that out every single time. And then I'm happy to answer it in a group setting. And again, your 2 more agents are learning a question that they didn't want to ask. So that is listing documents, offer to purchase, how to connect to open to close, our closing software. We have different crash courses on lead sources, but that is our agent portal. We love that. Cannot say enough good things about that. We also have an onboarding list as well. We have all of our onboarding broken down into series. We have a 3-month onboarding. That's broken down into 100 series, 200 series, and 300 series. And it sounds overwhelming, but it's really not. Ours is not nearly as intense as some other firms. I have heard of other firms, like on a Zillow call I was on today, where their agents are making 600 calls a week when they're onboarded with the team to old, dead and stale leads. We don't have anything quite that intense. I admire that. That's awesome. But we try to take somewhat of a balanced approach. We don't try to bring folks on under any sort of illusion that this is an easy business to make money in. This is a very hard business to make money in. You're going to work very hard, but at the same time, we want to kind of strike some sort of a balance, because I know for me personally, it took me a couple of years to really get in my stride and get out of my own way. And so I never want to lose folks to, to fear or intimidation or whatnot. Especially when you see them, they've left your firm, and then 3 years later, they're selling 50 homes a year, and you're like, oh crap, I wish we'd have given this person a little bit more time. But this is our agent portal. So that is super helpful for us as a team. When I go into Slack, let me see, I don't know if I'm in ghost mode, so bear with me. Let me pause this video and put this in ghost mode so that YouTube doesn't take down the video. So you have to put your stuff into blur mode, it's called, in Follow Up Boss, because YouTube takes down videos if it has like names and email addresses, or it can have a name but not an email address. Nothing like identifiable about the person. So anyways, that was news to me after I made a bunch of YouTube videos. But basically, let's say you're hopping on a huddle right now. I'm going into people right here. These are our smart lists across the top right here. There are more smart lists down here. This is kind of some internal ones, but really the top 7 across the top are the smart lists that the agents are looking at. We have different teams built out in Follow Up Boss. But basically, let's say that you are Abby and you're getting on the call. I'm able to go to ASAP. She has no leads in ASAP status, meaning that she has contacted everyone she has claimed. She has made that initial contact. So that's good. That's expected to happen immediately. Her 10 and 10 list is also zeroed out. Her 5+ days, these are folks in different statuses. So if I hover over here down to stage, anyone that's in stage spoke with customer, appointment set, or met with customer that she has not had some sort of communication with in the last 5+ days are going to show up on this list. This list is not super urgent. We allow the agents to work with some level of intuition on this list. If it's a client that they met with, they spoke with them, or they've got an appointment set for 10 days from now, which of course is not our preference. We like it set as quickly as possible, but they're not required to follow up every 5 days. But this list is an ideal kind of way to just keep on their radar, what's going on. So browsers is through our Ylopo and our basically cookies being enabled on all the different platforms we advertise in. Abby can easily hover over here and see that this particular lead is active on our website on April 12th, yesterday at 8 o'clock. This lead on April 11th. This lead on April 12th. So this gives Abby a soft way to engage with these people. Like, hey, Sophie, what did you think of the house on our website? Let me know if you have any questions, if you'd like to set up a time to tour the property. Our ISA also goes into our master list of all 20,000 people in our CRM, and will sort by most recently active on the site. We can often catch people who are presently on the site, and they're really blown away when a text comes to them that doesn't say like, hey, I see you're on our website. It'll say something like, hey, how's your home search going? Is there anything we could do to help? And they're like, oh crap, how do they know all this? So it can really engage folks, and then we're of course kicking that back to the assigned agent. Hand raisers are folks that are saying like, I'd like to see this home on our IDX feed. Raya replies. Raya is through Ylopo. It is a AI texting robot thing, whatever you want to call it. It is awesome. So it is for folks that are in like lead stage or an attempted contact stage, they haven't gotten in touch with them. Raya is going to softly re-engage after 48 hours of kind of the agent going away. And the text is really awesome. Go to Ylopo and get a demo on that. Again, we're not advertisers for Ylopo. I just really like them. It says really cool stuff like, hey, Abby, I'm Abby's assistant. Abby reached out a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if you guys connected, but just trying to make sure that I do my job as her assistant and follow up with you. Like, it sends really amazing stuff. And it's all automated. I would say that it's moved the needle in a couple percent at least as far as our conversion rate. Like, it's been a dramatic difference as far as an incredible ROI. So actives are folks that Abby is presently showing homes. You can see over there on the right, showing homes, has a listing agreement with, an active listing, submitting offers, or is under contract. So she has 8 in that status right now. And that is just that is a static list. She's not trying to clear that list out like she is on the other ones by communicating with them or whatnot. This is just for her to be able to see, okay, here's my folks. And for folks that are in like under contract status, we ask that the agents on our team follow up once a week just to go behind the closing team and just make sure that things are all going well. Down this list, again, some of these are internal. We have a Nurture 30 list. The agents are allowed to move folks to Nurture under certain circumstances. So if the buying period is more than 12 months out, they're allowed to move them to Nurture. If they are renting and it's more than 12 months out in the lease, there's different categories for that. In Nurture, the expectation is that they're following up with Nurture leads one time every 30 days. And that can be an email, that can be a text, that can be a telephone call. Really cool in Follow Up Boss, all calls are recorded both in and out. So we're able to, for especially newer agents, monitor those calls, make sure they're quality, and make sure that the agent is interacting properly, and not trying to shame any sort of agents. But we noticed like consistent typos with some of our agents, as far as one of our agents was saying, please bear with me, B-A-R-E. That's a frequent thing that she says to a lot of her clients. And so we sat down with her, we were like, just one-on-one, if you would just do a spell check on that, just to kind of help professionalism. Being able to see their two-way emails, see their two-way texts, and listen to their telephone calls has been a godsend when it comes to coaching. There's just one more list after this, but closed 45 is their closed book of business that they have not communicated with in 45 plus days. We ask for once every 45 days for the agents to say something, drop by a gift, send a text, send an email, send an article that's relevant to their neighborhood, new restaurant just opened, whatever. Do something once every 45 days for your closed book of business. Newsletter. So this is folks that are not Nurture leads. They said, sorry, we already bought a house, or, there's some sort of hard pushback. Newsletter requires no engagement with the agent anymore. They're to use this relatively sparingly, and they still get our company newsletter. They're also still getting HomeBot, which is the home valuation emails that come to them once a month saying, hey, your home value has changed. Please click here for the most updated report. And they're also still getting Ylopo Stars, which is an IDX feed relevant to their home search. So they're still getting 3 things from us. It just doesn't require the agent to do anything, but by clicking this newsletter smart list, they can still see kind of who this person is and can jog their memory should they reach back out. So those are our smart lists. Couple other things. I will not go to inbox and tasks. Basically, the agents can set tasks for themselves, and we can make sure that each agent has gone through their task list there. We can view the calendar. We can view our deals tab here just to see what the pipeline looks like for each agent, for each team, that sort of thing. But it's really reporting where things get to become gold when it comes to Follow Up Boss. We have never had this level of insight. And I know that there are CRMs that do have tons of insight. We have never had them. We've had, I think, KV Core, we've had LionDesk, we've had a couple of different CRMs. They were fine, but Follow Up Boss to me is just next level. And I don't know if it's just because it's like a prettier interface or what it is exactly, but I absolutely love it. So I can at one touch see agent activity. I can see the calls made by each agent. I can listen to call logs. I can see text. I can see delivery rate. I can see which template texts we use have the highest success rate, which ones have the highest opt-out rate. It's so easy, and it's so broken down in a way that you do not need an IT person to walk you through this. It was incredibly overwhelming. It took me probably 3 or 4 months to really feel like I felt like the first time I taught my mom how to use a computer, I felt like I was going to break something, but you cannot break this. It's awesome. The deals tab is fantastic. Appointment set is awesome. especially if you're top producers that you really want to show support to. I will reach out to my top agents. I'll say, hey, Hasty, you've got 6 different buyers you're meeting with on Saturday and Sunday. You are going to be fried. I see one of them is looking at a $300,000 house. How about I get a showing assistant over there to meet that client for you? It's just a single showing. You've already met with them a couple of times. They love you. You have rapport. What if I get one of our new agents to sub in for you and we just pay him a flat fee to do that? So really helping them kind of be a resource and being kind of showing like next level care for folks that are in high production. We have agents that just like love to stay incredibly busy and then they fall flat on their face for days at a time. And I'd rather them stay consistent than go in these crazy waves. So the appointment tab is awesome through Follow Up Boss. It sends the client a text reminder, just like your dentist office sends you, saying like, hey, just a reminder, I will see you at 5:15 tonight at 123 Maple Street. Really cool tool. Agent Leaderboard is amazing. That has really helped us see who's active for the day. We have agents always telling us like, oh my gosh, I've been swamped today. Well, here's the leaderboard and it may say differently. Basically, it assigns points to each agent's activity. You can hover over here and see each listing appointment or buyer appointment is 500 points. Each telephone call that's over, I think it's over 2 minutes in length. Yeah, the call has to be over 2 minutes in length. They get 100 points for that. Each outbound call attempt, they get 10 points. A text is 2 and an email is 1. So it's adding up their points. You can sort by individual agent. You can sort by time period. So I can see today that Kaylin has been the most busy in Follow Up Boss. So if I had a client reach out to me right now and they said, hey Matt, we bought a house with you a few years ago, we'd like to go ahead and sell it. Kaylin's going to be the one I'm going to contact because she's already active. She's been doing a lot today. I know she's awake. I know she's in town and I know she's working. So that sorts out the entire team right there. Really, really, really cool. Agent goals is also a fantastic thing. I'm not going to click on that because it does share my agents' individual production and financial goals, but it basically shows based on already closed units, what % they are to their annual goal. And it also shows based on their pending pipeline where they should be once those close. And then they can also estimate based on their showing homes and their folks that are in kind of pre-contract status where they will be if they get those to close. So this has been a lot of words. Thank you for listening. This is Follow Up Boss for us in a nutshell. Again, it has been, I've touched on maybe 25%, 20-25% of all that it has to offer. It is awesome. The automation is built in through Zapier. We get a lead that comes in the door. It's a seller, thinking about selling their home. We have a Zapier integration that talks to a handwritten letter service that sends them out a handwritten letter from me. Some awesome stuff that you can really build in here that has taken our conversion rate significantly higher than we've ever had it before. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Send me an email. It's matt@mattstoneteam.com. But this is sort of our general process, sharing a lot of inside stuff on our business. Again, those weekly huddles on Mondays and Tuesdays, that quarterly assessment has just really transformed our business. That plus a process, and Follow Up Boss has built the process or created the process for us and given us a way to remove emotions and opinions and really go off of metrics and data. So I hope this was helpful. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out more content like this here in the near future.